Let's talk about a legend, Tom Hanks. He's the guy you feel like you know even if you've never met him. Soldier, astronaut, castaway, he's done it all. Tom Hanks is America's dad, and it just fits. His warmth and kindness shine through every role. Think about it. How many of his movies can you name off the top of your head? Forrest Gump, Toy Story, Saving Private Ryan, Castaway. He's been a constant in our lives, making us laugh and cry, sometimes in the same scene. That's his magic. He connects with us on a real human level. He doesn't just play characters, he becomes them. Today we're diving into his incredible journey, brought to you by Nutreylife. From humble beginnings to Hollywood icon, Tom Hanks' story is about hard work, heart, and a little luck. We'll explore the roles that defined him, the awards he's won, and the man behind the camera. So grab your popcorn and get comfortable. Let's explore the life of Tom Hanks. You won't want to miss it. Before the world knew his name, before the red carpets and Oscar speeches, Tom Hanks was simply Thomas Jeffrey Hanks, a regular kid born on July 9, 1956 in the small city of Concord, California. His early years were far from glamorous, shaped by the rhythms of a typical post-war suburb, where the days were long, the streets were quiet, and the future seemed both wide open and uncertain. When Tom was just 4 years old, his parents' marriage ended in divorce. Suddenly, his world was split in two. He moved constantly, shuttling between homes with his father and siblings, never staying in one place long enough to truly settle in. Each new house meant new faces, new schools, and the challenge of starting over, again and again. By the time he turned 10, Tom had already lived in 10 different houses. He was always the new kid, always the outsider, learning to adapt to unfamiliar surroundings and people. This constant upheaval forced him to become observant, to watch and listen before jumping in, and to find comfort in his own company. Rather than being the class clown or the center of attention, Tom was quiet, a bit shy, and often kept to himself. He watched the world from the sidelines, taking mental notes, learning how people acted and interacted, skills that would one day serve him well. He found his escape in stories and the magic of theater. While other kids played outside, Tom would often go to plays alone, sitting in the dark, letting the stories on stage transport him to different worlds. The theater became his refuge, a place where he could dream and imagine without limits. His father worked as a cook, and his mother was a hospital worker, both hardworking, both doing their best after the family split up. Tom learned self-reliance early, figuring out how to take care of himself and his siblings, and how to find his own way in a world that didn't always make sense. In high school, Tom wasn't a star athlete, a straight-A student, or the most popular kid in class. He was just another face in the crowd, trying to fit in, trying to find his place. He blended in, but inside he was searching for something more, some way to stand out, to be seen. That all changed when he discovered acting in school plays. Suddenly, he found a place where he belonged, a stage where he could express himself and let his imagination run wild. Acting gave him a voice, a purpose, and a sense of belonging he'd never felt before. On stage, Tom could shed his shyness and become anyone he wanted to be. The spotlight gave him confidence, and the applause fueled his passion. Each performance was a chance to step outside himself and connect with others in a way he never could in real life. Acting became more than just a hobby. It became his passion, his escape, and ultimately his path out of the ordinary. The stage was where he felt most alive, most himself. That first spark in the high school auditorium was the beginning of something big. It was the first step on a journey that would one day lead him all the way to Hollywood. From outsider to actor, Tom's journey was just beginning. Every move, every challenge, every lonely night had prepared him for the road ahead. And it all started with a simple love for stories. A love that would shape his life, his career, and eventually the hearts of millions around the world. After high school, Tom dove headfirst into the world of theater, enrolling first at Chabot College and then moving on to Cal State Sacramento. These were formative years, filled with long hours in rehearsal rooms, late-night script readings, and the thrill of stepping onto a stage for the first time. For Tom, it wasn't about chasing the spotlight or dreaming of Hollywood stardom just yet. He was driven by a genuine passion to understand and master the craft of acting from the ground up. He wasn't chasing fame, he wanted to master the craft. Every day, he pushed himself to dig deeper into characters, to find truth in every line, and to learn from every mistake. The theater became his classroom, and every performance was a lesson. A life-changing moment came when he landed an internship at the Great Lakes Theater Festival in Cleveland. This was more than just a summer job. It was a chance to immerse himself in a professional theater environment surrounded by seasoned actors and directors. He made a bold decision. He dropped out of college, took the risk, and threw himself into the world of theater. Here, he learned everything: acting, lighting, stage management, even the art of building sets and running cues. Tom became a true student of the stage, absorbing every lesson he could. He performed Shakespeare, tackling some of the most challenging roles in the English language. His dedication paid off when he won a Cleveland Critics Circle Award for Best Actor, a recognition that validated all his hard work and late nights. This classical training gave him discipline, range, and a deep respect for the craft. It taught him how to command a stage, how to connect with an audience, and how to bring even the most complex characters to life. In 1979, Tom packed his bags and moved to New York City, determined to make it as a professional actor. The city was electric, full of opportunity and competition, and Tom was ready to take on the challenge. He struggled, facing rejection after rejection, but his talent and perseverance got him noticed. Casting directors began to see something special in him, a spark, a sense of humor, and a depth that set him apart from the crowd. His first big break came with the sitcom Bosom Buddies, where he played a guy dressing as a woman to live in an all-female hotel. The premise was wild, the comedy was broad, but Tom's performance brought heart and authenticity to the role. The show was undeniably goofy, but Tom's charm and comedic timing were impossible to ignore. Audiences loved him, and so did the industry. Hollywood started to take notice. Suddenly, Tom was on the radar of producers and directors looking for fresh talent with real acting chops. He was more than just a funny guy. He was a star in the making, with the versatility to move between comedy and drama, stage and screen. That leap from Shakespeare to sitcom set the stage for everything to come. It proved that Tom could do it all: classical theater, television comedy, and soon, feature films. Tom Hanks was ready for the big screen, bringing with him all the discipline, heart, and humor he'd honed on stage and television, and Hollywood was ready for him. The journey from Shakespeare to sitcoms was just the beginning of a legendary career. Bosom Buddies didn't last long, but it put Tom on Hollywood's radar. The sitcom, with its quirky premise of two men dressing as women to secure affordable housing, showcased Tom's comedic timing and natural charm. Even though the show only ran for 2 seasons, it was enough to make casting directors and producers take notice of this fresh-faced actor with undeniable screen presence. A guest spot on Happy Days caught Ron Howard's eye, leading to Tom's breakout role in Splash. That single episode where Tom played a former classmate of the Fonz was brief but memorable. Ron Howard, already an established actor and budding director, saw something special in Tom, an authenticity and warmth that couldn't be taught. In Splash, he played a regular guy who falls for a mermaid. Audiences loved it, and Tom became a movie star overnight. The film's blend of romance, fantasy, and comedy was a perfect fit for Tom's talents. His chemistry with Daryl Hannah was electric, and his ability to balance humor with genuine emotion made the story believable, even with its magical premise. He was the relatable everyman, and the offers started rolling in. Suddenly, Tom was on every casting list, with directors eager to tap into his unique blend of likability and comedic skill. He became the guy audiences rooted for, the friend, the neighbor, the underdog. Through the 80s, he starred in comedies like The Money Pit and Dragnet, honing his craft. Each role allowed him to experiment with different comedic styles, from slapstick to deadpan, and to work alongside seasoned actors who helped him grow. These films weren't always critical darlings, but they built Tom's reputation as a reliable, bankable star. Then came Big in 1988, a game changer. This was the film that would truly define Tom's early career and set him apart from his peers. Tom played a 12-year-old in a grown man's body, nailing the innocence and wonder. His performance was both hilarious and deeply touching, capturing the awkwardness and excitement of childhood trapped in an adult world. The iconic floor piano scene? Pure movie magic. That joyful moment with Tom and Robert Loggia dancing across the keys became one of the most memorable scenes in film history. An instant classic that audiences still talk about today. Big was a box office and critical hit, earning Tom his first Oscar nomination. Suddenly, he was no longer just a funny guy. He was a serious actor, capable of carrying a film and moving audiences to laughter and tears. He didn't win, but the world saw his range. Funny, vulnerable, and deeply human. Tom's ability to connect with viewers, to make them feel seen and understood, became his trademark. Big made him an A-list star. He was now a household name with the world waiting to see what he'd do next. He could do comedy with heart, and Hollywood took notice. Directors and writers wanted to work with him, knowing he could bring depth and sincerity to any role. The 80s ended with Tom Hanks as a leading man. He had proven himself not just as a comedian, but as a true actor with staying power. But the best was yet to come. The stage was set for even greater achievements, and Tom was ready to take on more challenging dramatic roles. His next decade would be legendary. The 1990s would see Tom Hanks transform from beloved star to Hollywood icon, with performances that would define a generation. And it all started with A Mermaid and a Piano. Those early roles, full of heart and humor, laid the foundation for one of the most remarkable careers in film history. The 90s were Tom Hanks's golden era. He went from comedy favorite to dramatic powerhouse. In 1993, he starred in Sleepless in Seattle and stunned audiences in Philadelphia, playing a lawyer with AIDS. His performance in Philadelphia earned him his first Oscar. The very next year, he won again for Forrest Gump, a cultural phenomenon. Forrest's optimism and iconic lines became part of movie history. Back-to-back Oscars put Tom in an elite club. He voiced Woody in Toy Story, revolutionizing animation. In Saving Private Ryan, he brought grit and humanity to the role of Captain Miller. The 90s cemented his legacy: comedy, drama, animation, war epics. Every role felt real, every character unforgettable. Tom Hanks became the actor everyone trusted. He made us laugh, cry, and believe. The 90s weren't just good, they were legendary for Tom Hanks, and he was just getting started. Tom Hanks isn't just an actor, he's a storyteller. In 1996, he wrote, directed, and starred in That Thing You Do, a film about a one-hit wonder band. It was a critical hit and showed his talent behind the camera. He co-founded Playtone, producing acclaimed projects like Band of Brothers and The Pacific. These series set new standards for historical drama on TV. Tom's love for history shines through in every project. He's also a published author. His short story collection, Uncommon Type, was praised for its warmth and wit. Whether acting, directing, producing, or writing, Tom Hanks is a true Renaissance man. He brings stories to life on screen and on the page. His creativity knows no bounds, and he's always looking for the next great story to tell. Off-screen, Tom Hanks is a devoted family man. He's been married to Rita Wilson since 1988, and together they have 2 sons. He has 2 older children from his first marriage, including actor Colin Hanks. Family keeps him grounded and happy. Tom's a history buff, especially about the U.S. space program. He even played astronaut Jim Lovell in Apollo 13. He collects vintage typewriters and even created a typewriter app. He's got an asteroid named after him. How cool is that? These quirks make him relatable, despite his superstar status. Tom Hanks, movie star, family man, an all-around interesting guy. Decades in, Tom Hanks is still at the top of his game. He's played everyone from Mr. Rogers to Elvis's manager, earning more Oscar nods. He adapts to new platforms, starring in Apple TV hits like Greyhound and Finch. As a producer, he champions powerful stories like the upcoming Masters of the Air. He uses his influence to educate and inspire. Today, Tom Hanks remains one of the most trusted figures in entertainment. He connects with audiences, on screen and off. His career is a masterclass in longevity and integrity. He's a living legend who still feels like a friend. And we're lucky to watch him work his magic. Tom Hanks' legacy is more than movies and awards. It's about decency, kindness, and heart. He's the modern Jimmy Stewart, a hero on and off screen. His characters, Forrest, Woody, Captain Miller, are part of our culture. He's proven that audiences crave stories with heart and authenticity. Tom's impact on film and TV is immense, and his influence will last for generations. This look at his life is brought to you by Nutreylife, celebrating the good things like Tom Hanks. If you enjoyed this story, hit subscribe for more. We've got plenty more legends to share. Thanks for joining us to celebrate the one and only Tom Hanks. See you next time.